Hello, nerds. Welcome to GeekBeast, part of the Geekish Network. This is your daily rundown of geek news by geeks like you. If you're new to our show, we cover the geek news beat and we share our opinions with you. I'm your host, Chuck, and with me we got Randy. What's up, Randy?
Yo, what's up, Geek Beast? Chuck, what are we talking about tonight?
We have a lot of news. First of all, we can have a moment of silence. Roger Castell dies. He's the illustrator behind the iconic Jaws, Empire Strikes Back's movie posters. Roger Castell, the illustrator behind the most memorable movie poster images of all time, has died. He passed away November 8th at age of 92. He lived a full life at Worcester County, Massachusetts, according to the post on his official website.
That's
Costello is
sad.
best known for Jaws, Empire Strikes Back. He also illustrated vivid book covers for the likes of John Steinbeck's East of Eden, Jack Collins' Holiday Wives, and W.G. Wells' The Invisible Man. Oh man. So hopefully that talent will be missed. Those movie posters, they're all iconic to me.
Mhm.
All of them. They all served a period in time. Hopefully, he was able to work with some other people to pass on some of the skills he's learned. So forever continually live. He got his first paying job at the age of 15 doing industrial cartoons. He sold his first illustration in the early 1960s in illustrated paperback book covers and movie posters over the next 40 years. Roger worked for all the major publishers in New York City.
Well, that's a good full life. And a lot of people don't know Jaws kind of started the summer blockbuster thing, right? Before then, movies came out randomly. Jaws was the first summer blockbuster hit that we have, and it's that tradition is continued. So he was a part of that.
Yeah, that's totally awesome. Good for him. I'm glad this was able to happen. He was able to make this happen.
Yeah,
Oh
good
no.
for him.
hmm Netflix has canceled Shadow and Bone.
Ugh.
Y'all were having a discussion prior to the show starting today as I was handling some other work. Um, it's a sad day for Netflix's Shadow and Bone, the series adaptation of Lee Berger's fantasy novels, which was developed by rivals Eric Hesser and gobbled up by the passionate viewers, will not return for a third season.
Yeah, man, I am saddened by this. We reviewed Shadow and Bone on Binge Worthy, and I think we gave it a full binge out. At least I gave it a full binge out, and I really enjoyed it. And it was
hmm
popular, but I guess rising costs and fallout from the strike, it just wasn't able to survive. I was hoping for season three and then a spinoff of the series The Crows from it, but
Yep.
what if you won't be able to do that?
It's
Sucks.
unfortunate that it did get canceled. It's not the only show at Netflix that got canceled. According to Deadline, adult animation comedies, Agent Elvis. I watched it as well. It's okay. Farzar, it's in my queue. I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, I
Captain
haven't seen it.
Fall, I watched all of Captain Fall. I thought it was good. I thought it was fun. It
I
was
haven't
fun.
seen that either.
And as well as live action comedy drama Glamorous. I haven't started Glamorous, but it is in my queue.
Mhm.
I guess I'll pull it out. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah. I
Shadow
mean,
and Bone is probably one of those series they should have kept
I
and
think
just
so.
continually build it. Netflix is very swift at cutting fat quickly, and they said that contributes to the success of their model. But there is an audience and there is some fervor,
It's a
and
huge audience.
I wouldn't say it's huge, but
No, it's a huge audience. It's a huge
what's
fandom for those
huge.
books.
I said for that's for the books, but for the animated for the live action series, there may
Well,
not
okay.
be.
So from what I read, the
Mm-hmm.
numbers were high. The numbers for it were high.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't quite reach number one, but it was in like the top three for 6 weeks or something. The
Mm-hmm.
problem that it was, the production cost was really high too.
Yeah, and that's probably
And
where it went.
yeah, so the cost for the production against the viewing numbers probably didn't add up,
Yeah,
and that was one of the reasons that they said it might have contributed to Netflix's decision to
yeah.
cancel it.
They can't make a cheaper looking season three, and everybody
Right,
knows who cheap.
exactly.
So
No,
you cut, it's
absolutely.
easy to
Right,
cut it. So
right.
so in the algorithm, it probably didn't do well. It didn't probably perform
You
well.
know,
Performance
So,
in Netflix is, I wish I could talk about it, but under NDAs, I cannot talk about the algorithm. But
so,
it's intense. It's an intense algorithm. Like everything
so,
is counted, everything is accounted for in the audience, the location of audience, audience members, like all that matters.
and
And
I
the
and
alg
I and I hear you, but I'm still disappointed that it got canceled.
yeah, yeah. And then the show is compared against other shows that are similar to it that are probably doing well, like One Piece. Like how about the expectation of Avatar? And they probably had to think about that. I'm like, okay, we came back from the strike. We got to hire these people back. We got to do this. The revenue model has changed. So
Right.
we,
The revenue model has changed. It's more oversight. They have to reveal more numbers. So
yep. So that could be it. Brothers reverses course on Coyote versus Acme after filmmakers rebel. The Roadrunner like Speed Warner Brothers Discovery has reversed its decision to bury Coyote versus Acme. The studio will not allow director Dave Green to shop his live action animation hybrid movie to other potential buyers instead of shelving the project for tax write-offs.
Warner
Wow.
Brothers Zavlov strikes again. That's stupid.
According to the source, after Coyote versus Acme news broke last week, several filmmakers instructed reps to cancel meetings they had on the books with Warner Brothers.
So had they started shooting it yet, or this was
No,
just a pitch that they were
this is
going to
this
do and they
they're
stopped
going
it?
to they probably did pre-production work for it, and it's like we just throw it on the shelf right off the work we done with it.
Yeah.
If you go to look at Max, it is a shadow of what it used to be.
I mean, I go in there and this I don't
No,
know.
nothing's there. Nothing's there.
There's stuff there. It's just they've
Not all the
taken down.
hits. It ain't
Yeah,
the hit.
they've taken down a lot of stuff,
A
which they
lot
were
of
kind of
stuff. All you
the
see is
first one to
reality
break
shows.
that.
The top 10 shows are all reality shows.
Yeah.
They
And
don't even
they
have new movies. I go to their movie section. I'm like, why is there nothing new here? They don't have any new movies. All the new Warner Brother movies are going to Netflix or somewhere else.
well, I mean, Netflix put a lot of the older
But
catalog on
but
Netflix.
even the good catalog, like I can go to Max and get Insecure.
Yeah, you can.
No, no, Netflix has Insecure now.
They both have it. They're both on there.
I thought Insecure got pulled from Max. Are you sure?
I'm positive. You can go in there now and look it up.
I thought they got pulled from it.
Yeah, it's still on there. All the old shows are still on there. It's just now you're available to see them on Netflix.
You
Like if you
know,
want to go in and watch old episodes of The Sopranos, old episodes of Insecure, you can watch those on
I
Max.
thought Secure was moved over to Netflix
Mm-mm,
exclusively.
mm-mm.
Okay,
It's
okay,
on Netflix. It is
it
on
is.
Netflix.
But I thought it was an
Yeah.
exclusive deal. Netflix cut to get it.
Mm-mm. Nah, it's still on there. You can go on there right now. If you go to Max right now, and help me out in the chat.
Not.
If you go
Uh-huh.
right now, you can see it. You can still see Insecure because rap shit's actually about to drop too, season two of it,
Yes.
and I think part of it is going over to Netflix too. I think they struck a deal, Warner's or Warner struck a deal with Netflix to get a lot of the category. Yeah, it's not
Catalog.
exclusive. Yeah,
See, I thought it was exclusive.
yeah, it's not exclusive.
That was an exclusive deal to go in. I was like,
Nah,
this is weird.
yeah,
Why would they do this?
you can still find all those old shows on there, but they're on Netflix too. So some
But
people don't
it's
have
all
Max.
reality. I merged all reality shows. It's
Yeah, it's
like,
a lot of reality shows
why
because
am I
of the
merged all these reality shows? I'm not going to watch anything off about the home network. I
yeah.
live in
Well, part of that's
LA.
due to the Discovery deal, right? Because
Yeah, I
remember,
live in
Discovery
LA.
had it, its own streaming service. Warner's had its own. Then they combined them, and now they're all together. So
Yeah. Like they don't have like Infinity Train. They don't have a lot of cartoons. They
yeah,
pulled
they
a
got
lot
rid
of
of a lot of the cartoons stuff because they closed a lot of those studios too. And
yeah.
actually, that's one of their strengths. Like animation is one
Yeah,
of their strengths.
it is. It is one of the strengths. But yeah, so
So that's disappointing.
Warner Brothers, let
They
go of
struck again.
Coyote versus Acme.
Yeah, but it's been consistent with who Warner's has been for what the last 2, 3 years. They make really bad creative decisions.
Okay, so the film was completed. It says part of the double door frustration. He said that Green did everything that was asked of him. He delivered the film, which sources say cost $72 million on budget. He hit the right test scores. He even moved away from his friends and family to London for 18 months to save the studio money on post-production costs. All, all, all this only to see his film get run off a cliff. So the film is completed.
Yeah, I mean, it's similar to it sounds similar to what they did with Batgirl
It
or
is.
Batwoman,
Batwoman.
whichever
Yeah.
Batwoman.
Madam Webb movie trailer hit today. Hints at the wackiest Spider-Man story ever. The trailer looked kind of cool, but I have no hopes for this movie. What are
I
your
didn't think it
thoughts?
looked cool at all. I was like, why are we watching this? Why are they even
Yeah,
making this? I'm
yeah.
not familiar with the character, so I will say that I'm not familiar with the character.
Hmm.
But this trailer did not make me want to go and see this movie. I just
Yeah.
might not be the target demographic. I
You're
was just
not.
like,
You're not the CW demographic. This movie's CW.
yeah. And if it is,
Madam
that's
Web
fine.
is that. It's for
Yeah,
girls that love comic books. It's kind of like Paper Girls,
I love Paper Girls.
but this is what
Another,
this is like.
yeah,
This is
I was
four
very
girls that
disappointed.
find their powers through this one
Yeah,
girl who is part of the web.
yeah. I wished I was angry that Prime canceled Paper Girls. I
But
just
yeah,
didn't see it with this. I was just like, eh.
yeah, same
And it
thing,
could
same
be good.
story.
This is just the first trailer. This could be
Because
just the
these
first
four girls
trailer.
don't know each other, and she meets
Yeah.
them all because she's having flashbacks and trying to save them.
Yeah. But just because they have similar stories don't mean they have the same execution.
No, that's
There's
true.
lots of stories
That's
out
true.
there, similar
That's
stories,
true.
but don't have the same thing.
The reason I think this is the problem with this story is because I saw Morbius,
And it was
I
terrible.
saw Venom,
It's terrible.
saw Venom 2.
I didn't see Venom 2 actually because the first one was so bad.
Yes, I've seen those.
And it looks like in the same
In the
kind of
same
thing.
vein. Yep.
Yeah. It
And
just
I
doesn't.
realized that Sony doesn't do great live action Spider-Man film without the help of Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't see
No.
Marvel Productions, Marvel Studios anywhere on this.
Nope.
This is
Well, yeah,
purely,
because this is one of those. Because Sony owns the Spider-Man catalog, right? They
yes, they
own and
own
they can do whatever
Spider-Verse.
those characters. They can do whatever those. Marvel came to Sony to produce the Spider-Man movies that we
Yes,
got with Tom Holland.
Tom
But
Holland.
Holland, yeah, but that doesn't necessarily extend to the greater verse, universe. Because I know Sony had wanted to create its own Spider-Verse, which looks like they're trying to do. Is just
Yeah,
they are missing the mark
yeah,
completely.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think part of it is because it doesn't have that Marvel flair on it.
No,
All
it
their
doesn't.
movies are, I don't know, they're too realistic and not comic booky enough.
I don't
And don't get me wrong, Spider-Man balanced that very well with Tom Holland. And the previous Spider-Man movies balanced it very well. Felt comic booky, but kind of realistic. And this is four girls that have spider powers. You
And
know,
maybe
girl
it's good.
powers
I'm
only.
just looking. This is the first trailer, and again, I'm not familiar with this character, so I could be wrong in this. I hope so. I hope it's a good movie, but it just
Yeah,
doesn't look. It just doesn't look hot to me.
yeah. The new What If season 2 trailer came out today.
Mm-hmm.
And what'd you think about it?
I enjoyed it.
You enjoyed
I
it?
thought it was good. I thought it was good.
The best. Uh-huh.
I thought it was good. I thought season one of What If was good. I didn't think it was great. I thought it was good. So this looks like it's going to pick up there. The animation style, and I'll defer to you because you are the expert in animation styles and art styles. It
Hmm.
just looked okay, but some of these stories, I'm interested in see where they go in What If.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting. I don't know how they're going to tie back in the What If series into the film franchise,
Yeah,
especially considering they're not sure if they're going to continue working with Kang as
yeah.
the main villain,
Mhm.
because Kang is a multiverse villain.
Yep.
If you're not gonna, and currently they're having a hard time explaining the multiverse. So, but it does look good, and the beauty of it is, it's interesting what they're doing. They're dropping one new episode every day, so it starts on December 22nd and ends on
Mhm.
December 31st.
So I think that makes sense. So it's like you get it all done before the end of the year, then like on like January 1st, you can stay home and binge watch them all or something like that. I don't think
Uh,
that's a
I
terrible strategy.
I think the real strategy is they're trying to get rid of the multiverse content to start all over fresh in 2024.
And And that might be. That might be. The problem I have, and I'm into the multiverse. The multiverse is not easy, one. And I
Hmm.
feel like they keep just teasing us. I was like, we've been doing this for like a year now. Like, let's get into the multiverse.
I mean, Marvel's multiverse is not like the Spider Verse, where you can actually where all
Man,
the
we've
characters come
we've
together.
had like 5 or 6 movies that touched on this.
That's all it
Te-
does. That's all it
te-
does in Marvel, though.
in television shows. I'm like, I'm ready. They keep teasing us with things, and it's just like, come on,
Hmm.
let's get into this.
And I think they're having a hard time people wrapping their head with the T's. Like Rick and Morty is targeted for a certain audience. The audience, you have to be smart to keep up with Rick and Morty. Between the
Mm-hmm.
ass and the fart jokes is a lot of science and theory in there. And if you can get by with the fart jokes, kind of like South Park. You can get by with the ass and fart jokes, the dick jokes, but you still have to be able to move on. And
Yeah,
people can latch on to that, or people can latch on to the hard science and the social commentary behind it. And I think
yeah.
Marvel doesn't have that.
Well, I guess too, Marvel depends a lot on the movies to drive a lot of those narratives. And Rick and Morty is a television show where you have a specific audience. Moviegoers are casual people. They really
They
are. They're
are.
casual. They don't care. Not all of them, but like a lot of them don't care about the fandom. They don't care about all the background. It's like, okay, I paid my $20 for 90 minutes, entertain me. And so if you get
Yeah.
too boggled down in like the history and explaining time travel and space and all this science, it's the potential to bring things down. So,
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's where they are. Where
you
they
know,
thought that they could do all that explanation over the TV shows, then give you spectacle in the movies,
yeah,
but
but
that
then
hasn't worked for them.
right, because you've got to explain some of these characters that nobody knows and has a background. And so,
Guys,
yeah, you get
your
kind of
movie
boggled
audience
down.
is not your TV
They're not
audience.
your TV audience, and nor do they care to
Hmm.
be. Yeah.
Hmm.
So, you got to weave it together. You got to weave it together. It's possible. It's just not easy.
It's not easy at all.
Yeah.
As Dan Harmon. It's not easy. It's hard.
Yes. Yeah. So,
With that saying, we're gonna weave in our story. Rodney, who's in from a binge worthy, and we can bring them in crosstalk. But
yeah. So,
multiverse is difficult. It's a difficult thing to do.
nah, yeah, it's not easy. It's not, and I get that, but I'm ready to go into it. But we've never seen on this type of scale as you're combining television shows, live action television shows, animated television shows, live action movies, animated movies, and you're trying to weave all of this together. Like
Hmm.
this has never been attempted.
Yeah, yeah, it's hard. It's
Yeah,
tough.
yeah.
Hey,
And
Rakai,
hell,
what's going on? How you
and
doing?
even what
What's
Marvel did over the
what's
last
going
20
on,
years,
fellas?
what's going on is amazing. The way Marvel Endgame, the way it capped it climax all of those movies for the last 20 years, that was just like brilliant. It was brilliant.
Yep, yep. So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting what Marvel decides to do. We were just talking about What If, this
Yeah.
second season of What If,
Hmm.
and how they're pushing them all out by the end of the year. They're all out by December 31st.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. They
Me
need
too.
something to salvage this year anyway. I don't think with if it's superhero fatigue or people or just weak storylines, um, they probably need to end the year on an upbeat. So it makes sense.
Yeah, considering thinking about resetting the whole entire universe all over again. So
Yeah, I don't really understand it. I mean, people understand the multiverse. They're just trying to make it more convoluted than what
I
it really needs
I
to
don't think
be.
people understand the multiverse. I'm in the
And
Yeah.
Disney
we'll
chat.
talk
People,
about it in the next show we're going to
yeah,
have.
yeah,
It requires a lot of exposition and explanation.
yeah.
Not really. We're
Well,
trying to make it more difficult than what it
then
really
let me
is.
rephrase this. They've put a lot more exposition and explanation in
That
some of
part,
these shows.
that's
So,
what's making it
And
difficult.
but
so
I talk to people that don't think this multiverse works at all. They're like they're not doing it exact. They're not doing what Rick and Morty does, which is exactly explains what the multiverse is and the theories behind the multiverse. And a lot of people that are watching the shows are going to the movies, but not everybody that's watching the movies is watching these
go
shows,
right. Yeah.
and that's the problem.
Yeah.
Because you have
Again, I
people that
think they're going out of their way trying to over explain it and trying to do all this stuff to explain. It's different. I mean, we've seen different parallel universes. This is not the first time we've seen it. We've seen it in a lot of other things. Hell,
but we've never seen it across
terrible
film and television.
As terrible as DC was, they had multiverses on the DC TV shows, and people understood just fine.
But those
they didn't have
aren't
to
the
go to
people
the
to go watch
movies.
movies. Those are different. That's a different audience.
Yeah, they just stay there and
the
watch the
movies-
television shows.
The movies aren't testing well with the multiverse.
Yeah,
So
so it's
movies
like
aren't doing well.
Is it the multiverse? Is that what they're asking about, or is it the storylines and the
They
weak
hand in hand.
scripts that we getting?
People don't understand how it all ties together. They want it similar to what they got with the last 22 films. I want
And
one story after another story, and I can miss a story from here and there, and I still be caught up on what's going on.
Well, I mean, and that's Marvel's fault.
The multiverse is hard.
Yeah, it is.
Really isn't.
It is though. Like if you're
It
trying
is.
to connect it,
You're talking
they're
about
trying to
people that
connect
have
it to
never read a book outside of Shakespeare.
right.
They don't understand this.
They're trying to connect live action on television, animation on television, live action at the movies, and animation at the movies. And so, like, moviegoers, a lot of them are just casual. They just show up. Was like, here's my $20, entertain me for the next 90 minutes. They haven't watched all those Disney Plus shows. They haven't listened to all position, all that explanation, and see how everything is connected. So for a lot of people, and Marvel's got to do such large numbers, a lot of people just aren't following it. Maybe
a lot of people had issues with the Thanos snatcher, then people coming back. A lot of people went to movies, saw the spectacle, and was like, I don't understand how everybody came back. There was a high contingent of people did not get that.
Oh, really? That I thought was pretty self-explanatory because it was
they
just
didn't get it. They didn't understand how people come back. He snapped them away. They're dead. They're gone. So
right, but we
bring them back.
It's like a genie.
Yeah, and it's comic book. For a comic book explanation, I thought that was pretty straightforward.
A lot of people didn't understand that.
Now, if you
understand, a lot of people have a problem understanding space wizards with swords. People have a difficulty with that.
Yeah, I don't think they had it. Endgame.
No, but who are the people that we talking about? Are we talking about people that actually go to movies?
People that have 5 kids, barely graduated high school, that have enough money on Saturday morning to go take all their kids to a matinee. They work down at the General Dollar Store or Walmart.
But I don't.
We don't get these superheroes. But I tell you what, you mutate a turtle and put a ninja sword in his hand. I get it. I mean, I get that.
What
they have issues with that too. Those people have issues with that.
Well,
too.
Then they don't want to see the genre period. They don't want. Yeah. They got problems with the whole genre.
They can stay at home and watch. 7 episodes
they don't have
of the Bachelor. Like I don't.
Right. Yeah, they don't get the genre period. So those you can't necessarily count. But the audience does have to be very large for Marvel. It's got to be a large tent pole, right? You got to get people in there to see the spectacle. So
and it can't just be people in America. So if you're gonna teach Barstrom's theory, you gotta make sure that the people that never study Barstrom's theory understands the world might be a simulation. They have to understand what that really means.
Yeah.
I think it's just that Phase 4 had zero direction. And even with it being the multiverse, there was no universal bad guy. Who is the bad guy? Even it says Kang, it's not Kang. We've seen Kang in 2 TV shows and 1 movie. He's not the overarching bad guy.
Well, we didn't see Thanos to what, the 4th movie, 5th movie?
Yeah,
but it always alluded to him. He was always the power behind. He was always the.
We saw him in passing, like in the first Avengers, like Loki talked to him, but we didn't see his face.
Nobody knew who it was. Nobody knew that was.
We didn't have to. We still knew there was somebody. You know what I'm saying? A big bad, somebody controlling all this stuff. We knew that Loki was this villain. He was the local villain, but he was not pulling all the strings.
No.
In Phase 4, there's been nothing of the sort.
Yeah.
Almost every villain has been a one-off.
Speaking of Loki, that's what we're covering tonight on Binge Worthy. That's perfect segue. And we'll discuss Marvel's big bad and how they put a big bad in because we didn't know who Thanos was. It was the nerds that saying we think that's Thanos. We think this is Thanos.
I didn't know
And,
who he was.
and
I'm not a
Marvel
super
never
Marvel
declared
fan, though.
Marvel never declared it until like the fourth movie. Even when they showed the silhouette of Thanos, people were like, I think that's Thanos. It looks like Thanos. People were dissecting that image. And we got Kang in the first Loki first season. And we got
No, we
Kang in
didn't.
the
No, we
yes, we
didn't.
did.
At the end,
No,
At the end, we
no,
did. We got
no,
Kang.
no.
We got
you
He
said
Who
We got He
Remains.
Who Remains. We
Who
didn't
was
get Kang.
Kang.
That's
No,
Kang.
no.
Yeah, it is.
He's
I
one
mean,
of the
I
variants.
understand what
He's
you're
one of the
saying.
variants, but
He's
he's
Kang.
Kang is a bunch of variants.
He's a bunch of variants.
yeah, but that's the problem. Unless you are a comic reader, unless you are somebody who knows, he's not a big bad.
Yes, he is. He's a super big
No,
bad.
he's not.
Wait, you mean
He Who
Kang
Remains
or
is not Kang the Conqueror, the purple dude in the suit and this run. He's the big bad. He Who Remains is not a big bad. That's like saying Victor Timely is a big bad. No, he's
He
a
Who
variant.
Remains kills all the Kangs. They go into a war again. He kills them all. I'm the one who remains. I killed the rest of them. They exiled one of my brothers. I led that exile to exile him in Ant-Man. And I killed the rest of them.
He is there to prevent the war. He's not a big bad.
But he's the one who kills all the other gangs.
But he's still more. He does that through machinations. He's not a big bad. He's
apparently he's most
he's not
malicious.
OP.
He's like the Watcher.
OP.
He's like the Watcher.
He's not OP as in
I
Thanos.
don't know if he's
No.
like the Watcher.
He's
No.
a human that does things through machinations, and he is the big bad. I mean, we can't deny that he's a big bad for it.
Yeah.
He ain't.
Yeah. Well, anyway, Randy,
If y'all like this conversation, come back for
come
binge
back.
worthy.
We're gonna be talking about Loki season 2 for binge worthy. So y'all come back. We'll be back in like 10 minutes. With that being said, shout out to Digital Click, shout out to Rodney, shout out to The Funk for curating all our stories. With that, we'll see y'all when we get back. Peace.
Peace.
My goodness. Y'all are funny.